Why is everyone talking about the San Andreas Fault? Here's what you need to know. Are you curious about the San Andreas Fault and why it's been making headlines lately? Picture an 800-mile-long fissure that slices through California, crossing roads, power lines, and water mains. Millions of people live and work alongside this crack every day. But little do they know that it has the potential to wreak havoc and bring the national economy to its knees in an instant. The San Andreas Fault is infamous for dividing California from south to north and is known for its massive earthquakes. Historically, these quakes occur every 22 years, the most recent in 2004. With the plates constantly grinding against each other, another earthquake could be on the horizon. According to Thomas Jordan, the Southern California Earthquake Center director, the southern part of the fault is locked, loaded, and ready to go. Why the dire forecast? Well, the lack of a large earthquake since 1857 means that stress has been building up, and it's only a matter of time before the big one hits. But how big will it be? The earthquake in the movie San Andreas measured at 9.0 on the Richter scale, which is a rare occurrence, typically only happening in places where one tectonic plate moves beneath another. While the size of an earthquake is not unheard of on a worldwide scale, it could have catastrophic consequences if it hits California. So if you're living in California, you might want to start preparing for the worst, just in case. The geologic conditions in California are truly one of a kind, with two massive plates moving past each other. This has led to predictions that a magnitude 8.0 earthquake is possible along the San Andreas Fault system, with a 7% chance of such an event occurring in Southern California in the next 30 years. There's also a 75% chance of a magnitude 7.0 quake happening during that same period. This may seem like relatively small differences, but the amount of energy released by each magnitude is vastly different. For example, a magnitude 9.0 quake can produce a staggering 1,000 times more energy than a magnitude 7.0 quake. Despite rigorous building standards, there is no way to guarantee that a structure will withstand the immense forces of a major earthquake. To truly understand the potential consequences of such an event, a comprehensive study of the fault zone is needed. The San Andreas Fault is divided into northern, central, and southern sections. The north portion starts from Hollister and runs through various cities, eventually returning to the sea near Fort Ross. There are also sister faults in this region that can lead to catastrophic earthquakes. The central section of the fault runs from Parkfield to Hollister and is characterized by seismic creep, meaning that it constantly slips without generating major quakes. Finally, the southern segment, also known as the Mojave segment, begins in Bombay Beach and runs through various mountain ranges. While it's unlikely that the events depicted in Dwayne Johnson's San Andreas movie will actually occur, the potential for significant destruction is real. The majestic Transverse Range, a collection of mountains formed by the movement of the San Andreas Fault, is a sight to behold. One can catch a glimpse of a fragment of the fault at Palmdale's Antelope Valley Motorway Road cut. The fault takes a northwesterly route along Elizabeth Lake Road through the beautiful communities of Elizabeth Lake, Gorman, Tejon Pass, and Fraser Park, before bending northward to create the awe-inspiring Big Bend. The restraining band is believed to be Southern California's fault's locking point. The fault extends northwest of Fraser Park over the vast barren Carrizo Plain, where it is widely exposed. The Elkon Sculp marks the entire path of the fault. Recent research using advanced chemical analysis techniques to assess rock heating during prehistoric earthquakes has uncovered multiple significant earthquakes in the central section of the fault, which may have occurred relatively recently. This has led the study's lead author, Genevieve Coffey, a doctoral student at Columbia University's Lamont Doherty Earth Observatory, to caution that it's not always just continuous creep, and that stronger earthquakes may occur in the central section than previously thought. This is a critical reminder that we must always be aware of the possibility of unpredictable seismic activity in this region. The San Andreas Fault is notorious for the myriad of dangers it poses. The northern section has been responsible for some of the most devastating earthquakes in American history, including the catastrophic 1906 San Francisco earthquake that claimed the lives of 3,000 people and left the city in ruins. The 1989 Loma Prieta earthquake, with a magnitude of 6.9, killed over 60 people and caused significant damage to a major elevated highway. In the south, the 1994 Northridge earthquake, with a magnitude of 6.7, killed around 60 people and led many experts to believe that the fault was building up energy for a future, potentially catastrophic earthquake on the scale of the 1906 disaster. However, until recently, the central section of the fault appeared to be relatively quiet, with only a small area near its southern end linked to actual earthquakes. Despite this, scientists have not been complacent, and a large observatory has been erected atop the fault near the city of Parkfield to analyze any indications of an impending earthquake. The observatory includes a 3.2-kilometer deep borehole used to extract rock cores and monitoring equipment both above and below ground. Although the frequency of magnitude 6 earthquakes in the central section is roughly every 20 years, scientists remain vigilant and understand the unpredictable nature of earthquakes. The possibility of an 8.1 magnitude earthquake striking the southern sections of the San Andreas Fault has long been a concern for scientists. This segment extends from Parkfield and Monterey County to the Salton Sea. A large earthquake here could result in catastrophic consequences, including the loss of thousands of lives and damage totaling hundreds of billions of dollars in Los Angeles, San Bernardino, Riverside, and nearby areas. While the fault has been located, more research is needed to fully understand the potential impact of a massive earthquake in this region. Using the shakeout scenario, the U.S. Geological Survey created a 7.8 magnitude event with a slippage of 2 to 7 meters to visualize the stresses that have built up since the last significant event. The model suggests that structures crossing the fault would be the most affected, although the Alquist-Priolo Earthquake Fault Zoning Act of 1972 has made such structures rare. However, the numerous roads, fiber optic cables, gas pipes, and power lines intersecting with the fault would be impacted. The potential damage from a major earthquake on the San Andreas Fault is staggering and concerning. According to projections, the cost of building damage alone could reach an eye-watering $35 billion, with older buildings particularly vulnerable. Gas mains and water pipes are expected to be severed, and devastating fires are likely to spread, possibly causing even more destruction than the earthquake itself. The death toll could be as high as 1,800, and aftershocks could cause further chaos and devastation. Just look at Christchurch, New Zealand, which endured over 10,000 aftershocks after a 6.2 magnitude earthquake in 2011. While the Hollywood blockbuster San Andreas may be a work of fiction, the threat of a major earthquake on the San Andreas Fault is all too real. It will likely be catastrophic when it strikes, especially for Southern California. However, Californians have a history of resilience and preparedness, and the state's infrastructure has been designed with earthquake protection in mind. So there you have it, folks. Did you like today's video? Share your thoughts about the San Andreas Fault line in the comment section below. With this, we're going to wrap up this video. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more incredible videos. We hope to meet you guys again in the next video. Till then, peace out.